Bill with Dawn.
Morning.
Hey, and a real skinny Jim.
How you doing,
There
everybody?
in the Ethernet, and we are live and in person in full color, and we are coming to you for a small celebration.
Yes.
2,000 subscribers were hit.
Woo!
Jim predicted it. He said we would hit it before our next show, and damn it if he isn't right again. So,
The power
Nailed
of
it.
metrics.
Yep. So we hit 2,000. Thank you very much. Seriously, from the crew here, we appreciate it. And I know 2,000
Absolutely.
doesn't seem like a big count when you consider other channels, but for us, because this is literally
It's a
just
milestone.
yeah, it is, because this is literally a project of love.
Yeah.
We get nothing out of it other than we get to show off some toys, and Jim gets to educate us on some battles and show some games and all that good stuff. So thank you very much. And tomorrow we will have a live stream where we announce the winners. We're going to do 2 winners for the gift card. We're going to do one on this side of the pond, and then we're going to pick a winner on that side of the pond.
Very nice.
So nobody feels left out. So
solid.
So your choice will be, if you're on the other side of the pond, will be a $50 gift card credit to Wayland Games, or the Beast of War, whatever their store's called these days. I don't know. One of those 2, which is all one and the same. Let's be honest. And then on this side of the pond, you will have your choice of a Miniatures Market or Families Consortium.
Very nice.
Okay.
Very nice.
So let's do that intro thing, and then we'll be right back in 3, 2, 1.
Big Duke 6 Eagle Thrust. Put on Cywara, make it loud. Into the Romeo Foxtrot, shall we dance?
You are listening to the Sitrep podcast, your source for everything related to historical wargaming. Whether you are looking for the latest wargaming news, reviews, painting tutorials, or playthroughs, you will hear about it right here. So grab your favorite beverage or brush and let's hit it.
Let's hit it.
Let's hit it. All right, people, we are back. We're live, and we are wild and crazy. Can't you tell?
Every day.
Every damn day. I must acknowledge the Christmas spirit that Jim is showing.
There you
Yes.
go.
Happy Tanksmas.
Tanksmas. You gotta get it in there.
Yep, gotta get it in there. So, as tradition here, we're going to talk what you've been doing since the last show. Jim, start us off, sir, because I know we have a little bit more probably to talk about since we've had it.
Actually, yeah, with all the build up for the trip over to Belgium coming up, I haven't been doing too much. I did spend Thanksgiving with my dad.
Nice.
So
Very nice.
every time I'm in his shop, I usually work on some miniatures. So I hope to have some miniatures done, but I forgot to bring them because, of course, I did. So I was instead take advantage of being in his shop to work on some terrain. Now, these are works in progress, but I am getting ready to build some more chain link fences. I never have enough of this stuff. So built another 14 lengths of this chain link fence.
Nice.
This is just the splatter screen that you get like from Walmart. Like it looks like the top of a pan. You put it over your frying pan so you don't splash grease all over the place. That stuff cuts really easily. It folds perfectly, and it looks in 15 millimeter. That's probably not coming out well in the focus, but
It looks really good.
it looks like chain link fence. Now I still have to paint the bottoms black. I'm also putting them on thicker bases this time. Last time I didn't put them on thick enough bases; they kept tipping over. So I'm going to put them on thicker. I put them on thicker bases this time. That just means I have to paint them black, so it looks like asphalt, or like a very dark gray. Streak it with some orange to make it look rusty in places, and then put on some little scraps of like foliage, like some, make it look like overgrown weeds and stuff like that. So it looks like the back lot of some, crappy neighborhood somewhere. So I got a big piece of that done. Built some more ruins. I mean, again, work in progress. But
Very cool.
yeah, so this is going to go on top of some other buildings that I have, so I can put on like a bombed out roof as well as a regular roof. Once I get it painted out and put some shingles on there, that'll all be ready. Working on, they're not done yet, but I am working on some pontoon boats in 15 millimeter. Once I put a front and back on them, so I can build a pontoon bridge a little easier.
Nice.
Got a fleet of about 7 of those going. And then last but not least, I got a new SitRep podcast icebox.
Nice.
Very nice.
Handmade out of wood. So as soon as I get this kind of fixed in there, that'll be our new official dice box for club games and stuff like
Love
that.
it.
Jim, what do you got that printed on? Is that just paper or?
That's just paper. That's just paper, and then I just make sure I use a nice laser jet.
Okay. Would you like to have the neoprene mouse pad with that printed on it to fit in there?
Sure.
Okay.
can send
If
you
you
like a-
send me, send me the file. We'll print it, and I'll need the dimensions of that size so I can cut the pad to the size you need.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Please.
Cool. Let me bring up the chat. Sorry, guys.
Oh yeah, we got some got a pretty good
Yeah.
audience.
Yeah. Overlay it. All right. We're gonna overlay it. All right. All right.
Mhm.
Wimmer's in the house.
Morning.
Wimmer's having, for a computer guy. I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay. And then St. John is in the house. I love that name.
Yep.
'Cause isn't that the name of Stringfellow Hawk's brother in Airwolf?
It's how they pronounce it. It's St. John
Yeah. Okay.
is
Ah.
how you say it, but they pronounce it St. John for some reason.
Yeah. And then brother Ben's in the house.
Yep.
And Rusted
Y2K.
Beetle.
And
Yeah.
Rusted Beetle. Man, everybody's in the house.
If you're
Very
old enough
good.
to
It's
get that
because they
reference.
heard we got 2K and everybody wants a party.
Right.
So see,
All right, Don.
what have we been up to?
Oh,
My
Lord, here we
goodness,
go.
I got to, I got to play so many games over the last 2 weeks. It's been super fun. Of course, not miniatures games. Surprise. But what did we play? I played
Everything.
a ton of Pandemic. I got to play my Harry Potter Hogwarts battle, whole bunch of Magic. We played regular Magic. We played Commander. What else did we play? Marvel Champions. Gaz wanted us to try that out.
Yeah.
So we had a couple run throughs of that. You guys played your James Bond
Yep. James Bond.
007, that legendary card game one. Gosh, I know there was other things.
We played Pandemic Rome, which
Oh yeah.
Jim, if you are looking for something loosely historically based, I mean, and I'm talking as loose as somebody's untied shoe. Pandemic Rome is really good because instead of fighting an epidemic, you're fighting the Mongols spreading across ancient
Oh,
Rome.
okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I was
pretty
gonna say
cool.
there were plenty of plagues in Rome. It definitely fits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
More than
you're
one.
you're literally creating alliances and trying to counter the Mongol invasion. So it's pretty cool.
It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
That
Yeah,
sounds
me
pretty
too,
cool.
Beetle. It's such a good game.
Yeah.
I love it.
So
I love it.
you guys got to play quite a bit. I played a few games. I got no miniature gaming done because I'm left-handed and
yeah.
I can't really use my left hand because I possibly have a torn rotator cuff and have to have surgery. So yeah. So
Yeah.
so
Oh, we played Dark Deeds.
we
too.
played Dark Deeds. If
Yep.
anybody has not heard of Dark Deeds, it is a card-based game where you play a thief trying to rob citizens, kill guards, and defeat nemesis. And it's a very fun game. We had the original version when Games and Gears put it out, and then now Modifius has it. So if you're looking for a fun evening game that around the table,
And it's totally a screw your neighbor game.
totally.
You're in it for you, and you try to make bad stuff happen to other people.
yeah, you don't
and
play a
yeah,
good guy.
It's fun.
You play a bad guy.
It wasn't fun for me, truth be told. I got my ass kicked. It was not really an enjoyable game for me, but it's always fun.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, didn't get a lot of the miniature stuff going that we wanted to.
Hard to when you got one chicken wing.
Yeah, I can't really do much with my right hand as far as painting and stuff at all. So this is about all I can do. Is this? That's it. So, without it hurting too much. So I go see ortho on Monday. But anyway, the new Lord of the Rings set came out. So I made a deal with Gaz. I'm going to have it shipped
Yeah.
directly to his mother's house over Christmas vacation, and he's going to put it together and paint it. And he's starting his own new channel, some hobby channel, and he's going to send it back to us so we can play it. Because I lamented painting and assembling isn't as much fun as it used to be. I just want to play the damn game. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what we've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was a good visit.
It was a very good visit.
Yeah.
Shall we talk about it?
Shall we talk about it?
2,000 subscribers.
2,000
There you go.
subscribers.
2,000 subscribers.
We did it. You
Yes.
guys are awesome.
So we want, again, thank you to everybody who helped us and subscribes and watches us and participates in our conversations, and everybody you see in the channels. We appreciate it. Jim, for putting out great quality content. We would never be where we're at if it wasn't for a lot of effort on Jim's part. So we're very appreciative of that. And again, as a reward to our subscribers, our team members, if you will, we'll do a live stream tomorrow where we pick the name of a person on this side of the Atlantic and a person on the European side of the Atlantic, and draw a winner for a $50 gift card.
And so what is your pool that you're doing this from? Do
From
people
all our
have to
subscribers.
comment? Okay.
We're just going to take our subscriber list. We're going to put it in a random generator, and we're going to, pull names, and we'll have to look at the names to make sure see if they're. I don't know if it tells you region. We'll figure it out.
Right.
We'll make it work one way or the
Yep.
other.
And we'll announce it, and people will need to get in touch with us,
Yes.
and we'll set a time frame. And if they don't get in touch with us in that time frame, we will choose again.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and everybody's eligible to win except those who are associated directly with the podcast, Chris and Marty and Jennifer. Sorry.
Yep.
So, as much as we love y'all, sorry. So, there we go. Yeah. So, okay, that's the show. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Bye.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Smash that like button.
I mean, so your non-historical girl is going to be the one to bring it up. Even I know what day today is.
Very
Yeah.
good.
There you
Very good.
I would like bonus points because
Nice
I
save.
knew it's Pearl Harbor. So yes. I
go. Day that
figured
will live in infamy.
Yep.
Yep.
Good job. folks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, today's December 7th. So, woo. Wait, I
You
can't win
dodged the
because I'm
bullet.
related.
You dodged the bullet, Ben. You're good. You can.
So, yep, today's Pearl Harbor Day. So, with that in mind, Jim, what is your favorite War in the Pacific type game?
Oh, game like game system.
Game system, game, anything that if you were to it's the anniversary of Pearl Harbor, and then we're gonna have Coral Sea and blah blah blah. What would you go to scratch the itch of, hey, it's that time of
Naval War is probably my favorite naval combat system that I have currently active. That I actually still play once in a while.
Yeah.
Naval.war.com if you want to go to the website.
Guys, no.
Wait for a second.
Oh, go ahead. Let him know.
Let me go ahead and pull up the website here
Yep, go ahead, Jim.
so I can make sure I get it right. Yeah, but we've done content on this before, so I won't belabor the point. Navalwar.war.com, I think it is, or it's naval-war. Yeah, hold on. I want to make sure I get the right, because there's a little bit of a technicality in the URL. Naval-war. Sorry about that. Naval-war.com.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to check it out, I'm on the site right now. Yeah, I've actually written with this guy before. We did a 75th anniversary of Midway way back in the day. I think that would have been December. No, that would have been December. That would have been 2017. Han Jens Simonsbergen. I'm sure I butchered his name. Sorry about that. From the Netherlands. It's a great little system. It's free to download. To print and play. Of course, you have to come up with your own miniatures and stuff like that. 1 to 1200, 1 to 1800 usually. He goes up to 1 to 6000 if you want to, as far as the miniatures go. You can use it for carrier battles, which is what the Pacific is famous for. But it's really written for a lot of cruiser actions, cruiser destroyer actions. You can throw battleships in there too. Me and Mark Ritchie did second naval battle of Guadalcanal.
Yeah.
Where USS Washington, man, holy crap! I mean, I sank Kirishima in less than one turn. Once he gets going, man, you're not stopping him. I still wound up losing that game though. But yeah, it's a great system. Mostly good for surface actions, but can be used for air actions. You just have to have separate tables set up. because the engagement ranges for aircraft carriers is in those days like 180 to 220 miles, somewhere in there. Rounded off to say 200 miles. You can't do that at 1 to like 1 to 6,000, 1
Right.
to 1,200. So yeah, that would be my system. And my favorite campaign is definitely the Solomons. I mean, Lady Gulf. We were gonna do something for the 80th anniversary of Leyte Gulf. It's just too big, and there was too much other stuff going on. Largest naval battle in human history. Over 2.5 million tons of shipping at once, like
Wow.
engaged. It's absolutely insane, like double the size of Jutland. And it's also kind of a curb stomp, so it's not always a huge fun battle to play. The only hope the Japanese have of winning is tricking the Americans. But in a war game, the players know what the trick is because the battle happened 80 years ago. Spoiler alert. So it's really tough to get on the table just right. You have to use a lot of like fog of war mechanics and things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the battles in the Solomon Islands, if you're interested in naval wargaming in World War II, that's where you start because the odds are kind of even. If you look at especially the first 6 months of the Solomons campaign, it reads like a football season. It's like win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. Japanese, Americans. There's trading victories back and forth. And even most of those are pretty close. There are some curb stomps like Savo Island we did on the channel was a bit of a curb stomp. Probably the worst single actual defeat in battle. Pearl Harbor was more of a raid. So if you leave that aside, Savo Island is probably the worst defeat the U.S. Navy has ever suffered.
Yeah.
Just got absolutely tuned up on that one. But then, Tassafaronga came after that. First and second naval battles of Guadalcanal, Cape Esperance, Santa Cruz. It just goes on and on and on. There's like 19 total engagements there. They're usually small, so it's easier to get into from a wargaming perspective.
Yeah.
And a lot of them take place at night, which means there's no air power. Sometimes people who want to jump into naval wargaming in the Pacific, the first thing you really run across is submarines and especially aircraft carriers. And that's like a whole different beast
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
to run on the wargaming table. It's more like running a bus schedule than it is, maneuver your piece, turn left, turn right, present broadside, roll to hit, oh, I missed, roll to hit, oh, I hit, roll, apply damage. Surface battles are much more conventional as far as like the game structure goes. You move your little pieces around, you try to get to where you can hit the enemy and not get hit in return.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Those are surface battles, and there's a lot of small surface battles in the Solomons. So, anyone who's interested in getting into World War II naval combat in the Pacific, again, we're sort of kicking it off here with the anniversary of Pearl Harbor. The Solomon Islands. There's like 19 battles in there. Like 17 of them are surface engagements, and cruisers and destroyers for the most part. A few battleship actions, but really just cruisers and destroyers. So it's easy to get it's easy to kind of get a grip on for players who are new to the subgenre.
Right. Exactamundo.
Cool.
So let me bring this up.
Yeah, Ben says Washington annihilates Hiroshima Admiral Lee. So South Dakota was in front. Brand new ship, still had electrical problems on it. The fuse, like the main fuse box, kept tripping down in the engine room. And cutting off power, so they had to reset the fuses. And finally, the chief engineer, in a moment of brilliance, says, I'm just going to lock it where it won't trip anymore. Like, this is the reason you have fuses in electrical systems. I'm just going to lock it so
Yeah,
I don't have to deal with it anymore.
What could possibly go wrong?
Boom, it hits again, and now the entire ship is paralyzed, and you can't fix it now because everything is literally blown out. The fuse is blown. It's not tripped, it's blown.
Yeesh.
You can't steer. It's a 56,000 ton ship. You can't like push the rudder like on a pirate ship. You can't steer, and you can't operate those gun turrets. Those gun turrets weigh 1,500 tons apiece.
Yeah.
You can't like crank it. So South Dakota is like completely paralyzed and just kind of like drifts off, and then Washington is like USS Washington is coming by right behind him with I think it was a rear admiral at the time, vice admiral later, Admiral Lee that Ben mentions there. And he has like this famous message. It's like he doesn't even like give like the name of the ship. He's like, "This is Lee. I'm coming through." And whenever I hear that, I picture the Stone Cold Steve Austin theme, where the glass just breaks and he comes stomping down the ramp, and he just turns a little bit, and Hiroshima just dies. Like a 35,000 ton battleship, like blown into scrap metal in like 7 minutes.
Wild.
Don,
Probably the best
I-
naval gunnery officer the U.S. Navy has ever produced.
nice.
Yeah.
Don, what's your go-to?
No idea. Why are you asking me these questions?
Well, All right, here we go. I'm gonna
I'm
share
here to
mine.
listen to you two and go, that sounds
So
cool.
my one easy go-to is Midway Avalon Hill.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's simple. It's it's
it's basically Battleship with some bells and whistles on it.
right.
Yeah, but
Oh,
it
Yeah.
works.
Battleship. Why didn't I say that? Now, see, there's a game I can do.
Right? Electronic Battleship, you got sounds of
Yep.
flights. But yeah, Midway, I mean, because I played that as a kid with my dad had it, so we played it. And then I want to share my go-to game that someday will be on my table. I don't know if you can really
Oh
see
my
it,
God,
but there it is.
jeez,
War in the Pacific. Decision games. So
that's a
yeah,
monster right there.
right? You can play the
27
whole war.
27 square feet of maps, if I remember correctly.
Something like
Jeez.
that.
Yeah.
Plus the
Where-
extensions.
Where the hell do you play that?
44. Well, you put a new wing on your house.
Yeah.
4,500 counters,
Yeah.
or is it 9,000? I
Jeez.
can't. It's a huge game.
You have fun sorting.
Uh,
Yeah. So there's that one. And of course, if you're going to do anything in the War of the Pacific, especially on this day, you have to have some inspiration, right? So there has to be this. Right?
Oh, there you go.
Gotta watch Final Countdown.
That's
It's
a
like
classic.
mandatory.
It's a little silly, but it's a classic. It's an
Yeah.
80s classic.
It's an 80s movie. Who doesn't like 80s movies?
right?
So,
Splash the zeros. Say again. Splash the zeros.
and the funny thing is when you hear about the real filming of that scene, how the Tomcats almost crashed into the water because they had to go so damn slow so they could film because
Yep.
even at their idle cruise speed is way faster than the Zeros
Yeah.
could fly. So yeah, they really you see the one where the Tomcat comes down almost to the surface of the water and comes back up. It's literally because he's trying to get some altitude and speed, and so he doesn't hit the water. So that's pretty awesome.
Crazy.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys out there, but anybody else have a go-to War in the Pacific game? And then Jim plays, Marine stuff, in 15 mil, 20 mil,
Don't even get
Yeah.
me started on that. Yeah.
island hopping.
For that, my go-to is probably Valor and Victory. Much as I love my girl Panzer Leader, a lot of times it doesn't work terribly well for Pacific battles.
Yeah.
It's fun to set up. It's very educational. Ben, who's on the stream right now, Ben and I set up Tarawa in true scale of the game. We basically just took all the stats from the game and just as like an experiment, like a thought experiment, like set up Tarawa, like how it would work. The entire map is like 14 hexes long.
That's it, huh?
That's tiny, yeah. And every single hex on the island has to be either considered to be either an improved position or a fortification. If you use the Arab Israeli war, excuse me, the Arab Israeli war rules for field fortifications, and it worked mechanically, but it wasn't fun.
No.
No.
It was every single hex on the map, and all the hexes backed off from the landing zones were all triple stacked, which is the most you can do with either Marines or Japanese, and it was literally just airstrike, calling off-board artillery like the battleships and so on, close assault. Okay, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. Japanese are constantly pinned down. The Americans are constantly trying to push in airstrikes. So it works mechanically. We got a good result. Like in the end of day one, we had like roughly the same amount of territory claimed. Like the beachhead was about the same size, but it wasn't a terribly fun game.
And how long
Val-
did it take to play?
And not that long because the battle is surprisingly small.
Yeah.
It's Iwo Jima would fit on 2 Panzer Leader boards. Like the boards that we play on our live stream, Iwo Jima would fit on that. It was only 5 miles long at its widest. The longest you can possibly go on Iwo Jima is 5 miles, a little less, I think. And then its narrowest point, it's like 700 yards. And during the Battle of Iwo Jima, it was the most densely populated place on Earth because there were over like 150. No, hold on. There was about 100, maybe 110,000 people on that island. I mean, it was more densely packed than Manhattan or Tokyo. And it took 5 weeks to clear. I mean, 5 weeks times, conservatively speaking, I don't even know how many turns a day Panzer Leader would be. Technically, it's 6 minutes. I mean, come on, you're gonna do 5 weeks and 6-minute turns? That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know,
Is there a hex encounter game that does a good job of island hopping warfare?
yeah, I would definitely use Valorant Victory.
Okay.
I mean, it's gonna be a much smaller engagement.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't do the whole thing, but there's more room to maneuver. It gets more into infantry combat, more into close assaults, which is what the Pacific War is really all about.
Yeah. I was reading Ben's comment about Tiny Island with the zillion counters on it.
Yeah.
And it almost mirrors real life because think about all the men and material that the US put on the islands to fight the Japanese. I mean, stacks and stacks and stacks of stuff. So I mean, in a way, it's kind of reflecting real life.
It's very it kind of makes you sometimes, especially when you get really familiar with a game system,
Uh-huh.
to take like the random stats that people throw out, like in a documentary or in a book or something like that, and just kind of convert it in your head, like what would this look like on the table? And you can hit some moments where you're like, "Holy crap! Can you imagine even trying to do that?"
Yeah.
Now
Perspective.
it wasn't terribly fun, but it was definitely eye opening and very educational. Maybe is the right word.
Yeah.
To set up how Terra would actually play out in Panzer Leader, and it worked. Technically, I mean, we came out with a result that made sense.
Yeah.
Mechanically, it was fine. It just wasn't my favorite game of Panzer Leader. As far as like how much fun it was.
Yeah.
There's no maneuver at that scale. For Pacific Battle, you have to either go up a step or down a step. You have to go down to like the squad level stuff with Valor and Victory, or you have to go up to operational level,
Uh-huh.
and that's where it gets, especially in the Solomons, that's where it gets crazy.
What you think?
I think it all sounds cool.
She's like, whatever.
And now I got Battleship in my head. I think we need to play some Battleship.
B3, you sank my battleship.
It just makes me think it's coming up to Christmas,
Mhm.
right, in a few weeks. And like I said, the one game from Decision Games I always look at and I'm like, I'm gonna get it. And for some reason, that price tag just trips me up. I mean, it's a very expensive game. Very expensive game. Yeah, you get a lot, but it's like, who am I going to play it with?
Well, that was my
that's
next
the other
question. Yeah.
problem. It'd be Jim and I doing it remotely. Jim here, almost like play by mail, but email or whatever. But
Oh, you're talking about Decision Games? War in
Yeah.
the Pacific?
Yeah.
Good luck.
We'll be 100 in the nursing home going, yeah, it's your turn.
Turn 3.
So, but it's like
I launched my special tapioca attack.
But with Christmas, it's like, what? It's like, okay, I need to find a copy of Circus Maximus
Yep.
so we can
That
play
I
that.
want. That I would like us to have
Yeah.
because I do like that.
Because I lose my copy.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Avalon Hill made a game back in the 70s. I believe it was a 70s game, not a 60s. 70s game called Circus Maximus, where you literally did chariot racing in Circus Maximus in Rome. And it's a great
So
game
fun.
that anybody can play.
Yep.
Because it's just racing and bashing each other's chariots and whipping the horses and trying to kill the rider.
And crazy stuff
yeah,
happens.
yeah,
It's
it's
hilarious.
a lot of fun.
Have you guys seen that television show yet?
Which telephone show?
Oh, now I gotta find it. It's basically exactly what you're talking about. It's like Gladiator or Spartacus, but it focuses more on the chariot races.
Oh, no, I haven't seen that one.
No.
Oh, damn it! Now I gotta find it.
But, there's that.
And I went through the first 10 episodes, and I was like, getting ready to take notes, like, where are we gonna rip this apart or whatever. It's pretty. I mean, no show is perfect, but it's
Right.
pretty good.
Is it?
Okay.
I think I found like one major thing at the end, but you guys keep going. I'm gonna go ahead and try and find
Okay.
the show again.
Other than that, I really want to see. This is the problem with my arm being out of commission. Gaz and I, we're going to put 3rd edition Bolt Action together, and look at it. I know he's going to review it with his friend back in England, but
Mhm.
I thought since he was here, we could do some stuff with it. Because Jim is going over to Belgium tomorrow, I think it is, and now is the time to be doing it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you might have to put some stuff together for me.
I could do that.
Yeah.
Just need to tell me.
Yep. So, yeah, Get it on the table, man. Play a little bold action.
The name of the show is Those About to Die.
Those about that, we'll have to check that
Oh.
out.
Yeah.
You know what
um,
service it's on, Jim?
I'm looking at it on IMDb. Not sure where you can watch it on.
Okay, we'll
But
find out.
yeah, Those About to Die. It's got Anthony Hopkins in it. He doesn't
Oh.
have a huge role because he plays Emperor Vespasian. He dies like pretty near the end of pretty near the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
But it's really about his sons that took over after him. So it's the first century AD. It's like I think 77, 80, something like that.
Yeah.
Peacock.
It's on what?
Yeah, there it is.
Peacock.
Peacock.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so almost everyone has that, right? That's basically NBC, their streaming service.
What is Chris talking about? I know what Go Army Destroy Navy is, but that's the Army Navy game, which is next weekend.
Oh, he said because we don't have a show next week.
Since we don't have a call next week, Navy all the way, yo. Wrong.
Picking fights in the chat.
The world's Uber.
Oh man.
Also,
But-
the world's largest nuclear power, but that's okay.
That's
Yeah.
yeah. There's that too.
Yeah,
Um,
more aircraft than the Air Force and the Army put together.
Yeah.
I mean,
so, Dawn,
Yeah.
if you had to pick a war game, what would you pick?
A war game.
Mm-hmm.
How loosely are we?
A war game.
What have I played? That's a war game. Bolt Action was the only thing I've probably played.
We
Would
played Flames of War.
Saga's
Saga.
not considered. Okay, I would go Saga.
Yeah.
Then if that's up for choice.
That's always up for choice because we've actually
It is
played
historical.
it. It is historical-ish. Yeah,
Yeah,
mostly.
That's what I would pick.
So we've actually played Saga. I don't know about Waymer and Marty, but we've actually played it.
Too
For those who don't know, Saga is a skirmish game. And you have war bands. And you know, it could be Vikings, it could be Celts. Yeah, it's everybody, you know, right? Depending on what you pick, and you get these cards that have actions and dice, and you know, it's a lot of fun. It's I don't know if I'd say it's totally historical, but it's historical light
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
But it is a lot of fun. And it's not a high model count, which is nice. But yeah, so
one of our new members, Maximus Dimble, in our Discord, has put up some great force on force pictures. He looks like he's been doing some.
do you want to share them, Jim? So with the peeps, can you do that?
I've got my Discord open. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not sure how I.
Is it on the same computer or a different computer?
It's on the same computer. Yeah.
Yeah, just share the screen for it.
Oh, I see it now. Share screen.
Yep.
Okay, so
Bye, Chris. I guess if I had to pick another game,
Yeah.
also Blood and Plunder.
Blood and Plunder. Okay.
There's our water tie-in. Ships,
Ships,
yo.
yo.
why wouldn't it let me do that? I'm not sharing anything now, am I?
No,
Nope.
sir.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's okay. Yeah, you just share screen, pick the screen you want to share. There you go.
All right, cool. Let me get to it because now I'm like showing the infinite mirrors.
We've reached the inception point of the show.
Oh, nice.
Very cool.
And this is Force on Force, Jim?
Yeah, that's what he says in his. Oh, no, that's not what I meant. Open image and new tab. There we go. So yeah, there we go.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah, so it looks like he's got some Humvees heading towards a Pakistani a compound.
Uh-huh.
And according to his scenario, the White House doesn't want to send in more aircraft, so they were stuck with a ground convoy.
Oh, okay.
I like
Here's
this
the,
chunky rock terrain that they're on too. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Here's another good one here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
A film crew.
Yeah,
Oh,
there he
that's
is.
funny. Yep. Cool.
I wonder what miniatures he's using. Are those Elheims? White Dragons?
I don't think he says.
They look good though.
Force on Force in Afghanistan, Pakistani tribal region.
Nice.
No, he doesn't say what kind of miniatures they are.
Okay. Well,
So-
All right,
Mhm.
Howie.
Oh no. All right, so stop sharing.
there you go. Bring the
Are we
chat back up.
All right, cool.
All right, chat's back up. I just hid the chat so we could enlarge your screen so people could see it better. But really nice work.
Yeah, Tuffy Ears was working on some of the new Bolt Action 3rd edition.
Yeah, I saw her. Where are you, Tuffy Ears? You know, you talk a good game.
She's like, well, Marty's not on today,
Yeah.
so nobody's gonna fall out of
Yeah,
a chair.
her victim isn't
yeah.
here, so why show up? I know she's here in spirit. So. Boy, it's cold in here.
It is cold in here.
So in our hobby room, which is above the garage, for some reason the heat isn't as good. So, but yeah, I even posted it in Discord.
Did you?
Not too long ago. I did. I showed off the Halo dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. That's a game. You know what? We should do a video.
Is it in the hobby room?
I think so, Jim. We should just do a playthrough of the.
Yeah.
You know, at least the starter. So how to play one.
Yep.
So people can get into it and decide if it's right for them. I'm just gonna let everybody know we. When is Christmas this year? If you say the 25th, I'm gonna put you. It's a Tuesday, Wednesday, I think,
yeah.
right? Okay.
I think it's a Wednesday.
All right. So yeah.
It's
To give
a
everybody a
Wednesday.
Christmas break, where there will be no programming on the weekend after Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving, Christmas. You know what I meant. The
So we
28th,
will-
29th.
we-
Go ahead, Jim.
All right, so we're on the 7th now. The next
Yep.
scheduled one would be the 21st.
Correct. That'll be our show. I'm talking about Sunday content on the 29th, unless
Oh,
unless you're gonna throw something up. But I know you're gonna be traveling and stuff, so
Yeah.
we traditionally take that weekend off between Christmas and New Year's. So that other than that, we will have content. Like I said, tomorrow we'll be doing live streaming. We will announce the winners, and we'll probably just do a little chat and answer questions if anybody wants to join us for a live
Yeah.
stream. Kind of one of my things in the future is like if there's like new products that come out, I might review them, and if I don't really like them, I'm probably gonna give them away.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta keep it. Maybe somebody will get a use out of it, but I don't know. We'll see. But you know, the plan going forward is we're trying to streamline the process of programming, like Jim does his historical war game, right?
Yep.
You know, whether it's in Panzer Leader, Panzer Blitz style, you know, Hex Encounter, Valor Victory, or you know, miniatures based like he just did with
Harken Force.
yes. What was the system though?
So, the system was Battle Group.
Thank you. I kept saying Battlefront, and I knew that was wrong, so I wanted to make sure. You know, and then Dawn and I will be doing reviews and painting, and we'll probably throw a game in there here and there too. You know, stuff. But yeah, we want to keep the content flowing and really, you know, once you hit a certain amount, your expectations rise as far as your audience expectations. So, because I'd like to be able to celebrate 3,000
Yep. that
by
would be
the end of
sweet.
next year at the latest.
That would be
you know,
sweet.
if not sooner. So, you know, we'll go from there. But yeah, this is gonna be a short show, guys, because it's freaking cold in here. You know, and you know, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Not that I
It's
can
kind of a
think so.
slow news week as
We
far
just
as that.
played a lot of games this
Yeah.
last week.
And right now it's the slow season. Everybody has their Black Friday sales and you know their sales. If you go to any game company, they pretty much have sales. There really isn't any big giant campaigns going on right now. You know, everybody's just trying to clear out inventory from this year. It's usually what happens about this time of year. They don't do a lot of new releases this time of year. You know, so there's that. Other than that, I don't really have much today.
Mm-mm.
Jim, you have any final thoughts, sir? I know it's a kind of a short show, but
No, it's
You know,
okay.
yeah.
I am flying out tomorrow afternoon. Stop over in Heathrow, and then we land in Brussels.
nice.
So we'll
Awesome.
be driving right past Waterloo. We might stop by there,
That'd be cool.
Very nice.
and there's a little bit of snow on the ground. But meanwhile, we'll be staying in Bastogne most of the time. So we
Nice.
got a little bit of an itinerary set up. We're going to be in Bastogne. We're going to be in Dinant, if I'm saying that right. That's not quite as far as the Germans got. The Germans didn't quite reach Dinant. That's right along the Meuse River. But I want to get to the actual, like the furthest point they got,
Right.
which is in a little town called Celis. We
Yep.
run games on that here on the channel. So I want to get there for that. San Vite, of course, Stavlo, the site of the Malbany massacre. We're going to be there for that. Meet up with Piotr at least once in the midst of all that trucking around, and
Very
some
cool.
jump off points. Yeah, so I've got 2nd Panzer Division's jump off point, spearhead of 5th Panzer Army set up, or kind of mapped out like where we're going to
Uh-huh.
meet it at, and also where the 106th kind of fought its one and only battle there at the Schnee Eifel in the Losheim Gap. So yeah, we've got a lot of spots picked out. Probably spend like maybe half a day at each one. So we're
Mhm.
gonna have like maybe 10 sites, 10 different sites picked out, because it's not a terribly long trip.
Yeah.
And of course, there's going to be there's a whole bunch of different museums and so on and so forth there. We're going to stop in as well. So I don't know like what kind of content I'm going to be able to put out on for December. Maybe I'll
Uh-huh.
just come back with some of these photographs
Yeah.
and we'll go through those like on a live stream or something like that.
I think that would be awesome, and because that way you can tell people what we're looking at.
Right. So, excuse me. So yeah, we're going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not promising anything, but I'm going to try to do a live stream of a Christmas game, Santa Claus
Fingers
Assault game.
crossed. I
Yeah.
need my Santa goodness. Come on.
It's
Yeah.
going to be it's just because there's so much. It's
Yeah.
just because
Yeah.
there's a
Yeah, we get
there's a
it.
gaping hole shot in the middle of December as far as prep and lead time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
for
Are
sure.
you going to try and do those photos I see on Facebook once in a while where somebody goes to an area of a battle, like World
Yeah.
War II, and they do the building in old photo and then they do the modern photo so you can see, how it looks.
What I'll probably do is I'll put like a huge campaign map,
Uh-huh.
like where all the divisions were and how everything was moving around, like one of my little operational maps.
Uh-huh.
And I'll have like some photos like tagged, like photo 1,
Nice.
1 through 10, 1 through 20.
That'd be cool.
Different directions and stuff like that. And explanation like it looks like just a field with a barn and a fence.
Yep.
This is why this was important. Here is where 2nd Panzer was coming through, and 110th Regiment of 20th Infantry was trying to stop them. Things like that. So it's going to be something probably more like that.
Very cool.
I like it.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, you have a safe trip, sir.
Yeah, you
Thanks,
guys
man.
have
Enjoy.
a fantastic time. Safe travels.
Yeah. Oh, Damon, of course, now you show up. So now and then pics would be cool.
You
Yeah.
got to be on the money with those.
Yeah.
That's
Which-
true.
Yeah. And it has to look. A lot of it doesn't. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
A lot
changed.
of a lot of it. A lot
80
of it
years later.
a lot of it was destroyed during the war and rebuilt.
Yeah.
And man, you can tell. I haven't been to the Bulge battlefield yet, but in Normandy, you can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saint-Lô is like a brand new town. Everything's crisp. Everything's clean. And like, yeah, here's why. And they show you the aerial photograph. It's an absolute. It looks like a World War I village. It's an absolute moonscape. They had to
Yeah.
rebuild that town from scratch. Like, so yeah, some of the towns don't look very pristine.
Yeah.
They look more like downtown. What's somewhere in New Jersey or something.
Right. Right.
Because they've been rebuilt, and then some of them
Yeah.
still look like they did back in the day.
Yep. So I'm making a prediction.
Yeah.
Jim's going to come back. He's going to be wearing one of those hats.
We went over
Yeah.
this last time.
I'm telling you, he's going to walk onto the battlefield at Waterloo, and the ghosts are just going to pull him in, and he's going to come back, and he's going to, next thing you know, we're going to be having battles and campaigns of the Napoleonic Wars. It's going to happen. The ghosts will get him.
Keep dreaming.
He'll stand on that hill overlooking and go, I could have done it better than Napoleon. And let me show you how.
He's like, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Too funny.
He's gonna think about it now. Mm-hmm.
We're gonna stop by it because we're basically driving right past it.
You
Yeah.
have to. I mean, one
Wow.
of the world's most famous battlefields. Yeah, of course.
It's gonna be. From what I understand, there's some snow on the ground over there now,
Yeah.
so it won't look like it did on June 18th. But
Oh, you
Yeah.
can pretend it's Russia.
Right.
That's cool. Is
Yeah.
La Saint? I can't remember
no,
the full name
Hey
of
Saint
it.
is there. Hougomont's there.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, I'm very excited to see some updates and pictures from your trip. How long are you over there for?
Not long, like a week. A little bit
Okay.
over a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. If you're any interest in motorsport, you are next door to this Franco Champs Circuit, one of the best tracks in Europe.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
Nice.
All right. Well, guys, I know it's a little bit of a shortened show, but Jim's got stuff, like he's got to pack and stuff. And,
Right.
and honestly, we're freezing our cojones off. So we are going to Didi Mao out. And we want to wish you guys happy holidays. We will see you in 2 weeks with a live stream.
Mhm.
Jim will be back so he can give us a full report. And then,
Yeah, I'll be back by then.
Yep.
Yep.
And remember, tomorrow we'll do the live stream for the winners. And then the following weekend, I got something up my sleeve.
Do you?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Nice.
So, yep, we're ready to rock and roll, man. So we want to thank you all so much,
Yes.
truly, from the bottom of our hearts, for supporting us. And a lot of you have been with us from day one, and we really appreciate it. Brother Ben, Damon, you guys have, been there for God, so it's pretty much since the beginning. And to everybody, we appreciate everything you do. To the crew, Big Jim Riskany and Don and Chris and Marty, wherever the hell they are. We wish you, thank you very much, and wish you happy holidays. And I appreciate you all. And we're going to get the hell out of Dodge. And I'm going to go eat donuts. So we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You have been listening to the SITREP podcast. We hope you have enjoyed the show. Make sure you like and subscribe to all of our channels on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Discord. Remember to join us every other weekend for a new episode of the podcast, and don't forget our other programming on Wednesdays and Sundays.